Good morning. Happy Friday, Friday Focus. We are on the 5th of March. Next weekend, it's my daughter's birthday, 19th birthday, and I'm not going to be with her. It's going to be really sad. Anyhow, how are you all doing? How are you all managing? I had a major wobble this week. A major wobble, actually. I had a bit of a realization, but I also had a bit of a I can't do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm not doing what I want to do. And not that seriously. Thought about giving it up, but I nearly thought about giving it up. But then I had, so far this week, actually, I've had 4 fabulous quarterly meetings with my clients going through all of their numbers. Hi, Kate. And making sure that they've got their goal set and that they know what they're aiming for and they know how they're going to get there. And that's what I try and do. I help them work out where they are, where they want to go, and what the gap is in between, how we're going to manage that gap. And I had 4 amazing meetings this week, and we're on Friday. And it completely changed how I felt about myself and my business. I was just having a bit of a wobble. I think it was a COVID wobble as well. It was a bit like sort of, okay, fine. So we're coming out of this quite soon. And, I've spent a year eating too much and drinking too much and doing all sorts of things too much. And now I've got a date. It means that it's a bit scary because I put myself under a lot of pressure. But hey, I am now back on it completely 100%, which is really exciting. My challenge went really well last week, and thank you all so much for being on there who were. So today we're going to talk about what the 5 traits of being a successful entrepreneur are. So what do you think they are? How do you think this defines a successful entrepreneur? I was going to call this the 5 traits of successful female entrepreneurs, but I thought actually that I really ought to be a little bit more inclusive here. Otherwise, I'd be done for sexism or something like that. So what makes a successful entrepreneur? About 20%, that's all, of businesses fail during their first year. So what traits should an entrepreneur have in order to become successful in this really highly competitive environment? What helps you stay one step ahead of the others by making your business a success? So if we think of 10 entrepreneurs in the UK, this is men and women, who would you name? And it doesn't matter whether you believe in their ethics or not. Give me a couple of names of people. The ones that I would think of are James Dyson, Dame Karen Brady, Deborah Meaden, Alan Sugar, Anne Boden, Holly Tucker, Richard Branson, Alice Bentnick, Peter Jones, and Justine Roberts are my sort of top 10, shall we call it? But they change all the time, in fact. And what makes them an entrepreneur? What do they do that's different from everybody else? So, if you think about it, when starting up a business, it's not easy. It's not easy at all, especially in this modern environment. But there again, we're given so many opportunities with this modern environment. And how do we take advantage of those by making sure that our business is a success? So while not everybody is not born to be an entrepreneur by any manner of means, there are skills that you can learn, definitely, to jumpstart any business venture. But to be successful at it, it doesn't mean to say you have to have a talent necessarily. I think you have to have a real go, and I think you have to have a real push. You want to really push for things. You've got to have a real why in what you want, why you're doing this, for what reason you're doing this. I've always said that if you don't have a certain amount of self-discipline, there's no way that you could run your own business. Absolutely no way. If you are not meant to run your own business, then you're not meant to run your own business. And that's all there is to it. A lot of people don't want to run their own businesses. They're very happy working for other people. That's fantastic. They can make a huge success of whatever career it is that they have, and they can change career and they can do what they want. Being an entrepreneur is flipping tough. It takes up 24 hours a day, apart from anything else. It takes up your whole head space. You don't have any space for anything else. Well, I don't. It takes up just so much of your energy, But anyhow, let's go back to what I think. This is only my opinion, what the 5 traits are. But it is important to understand that some of these traits can be learned, and what separates a good entrepreneur from a bad entrepreneur. So these are the ones that are both intrinsic and trainable. So 1, inventiveness. One of the key features of successful entrepreneurs is their ability to come up with new ideas and I can't even speak, and expand on existing ones that they've got. So that's why most entrepreneurs start their businesses with an idea that deviates from and improves upon a current norm, whatever that norm happens to be. While it's almost impossible to teach someone how to be inventive, most people do actually possess that sort of unlimited imagination, should we call it, and that potential. Tapping into that can lead to some seriously exciting results, but also tapping into that can be quite difficult for some people. So number 2 is confidence. One of the crucial parts of a successful startup is the pitch. A good entrepreneur needs to have confidence in both themselves and their idea. They've got to have, I personally don't even think it's confidence. I think it is, what do we call it? It's more than confidence anyhow. The confidence that will set and sell that startup to potential investors and allow the business to begin operations. Entrepreneurs are going to face rejection. So they've got to be pretty thick-skinned, really, to be quite honest with you. They can't be knocked back by rejection every 5 minutes, because otherwise they'll never go. They need to be able to bounce back so that they can thrive in that competition. Work ethic, that is hugely important. The term passion is often thrown around as a very desirable trait, but it would be a more proper way to call it, I would think, a work ethic, even though I call it a passion in my life, because it is a passion. But what's the difference in this particular case? What is the difference? I'm not 100% sure that there is a huge difference. I think a work ethic, to me, is a realization that you have to earn in order to pay things. But I'm not sure whether a work ethic in this particular case is right. I think passion is actually more suitable to what we're describing here with these traits. Any entrepreneur can enjoy what they've created, but a real passion is what truly matters, and that's what gets transferred over to the client, the person they're pitching it to, potential client, investors, whoever it happens to be. In order to be able to be an entrepreneur, you have to be able to put in some seriously long hours into your business in order to take it off the ground. That would not be possible if you didn't have a real passion for whatever you're doing. Money management. Obviously, I'm going to come up with money management, aren't I, being me? One of the critical reasons that startups fail is because it's what they call the futile acquisition of capital assets. Sounds so boring, doesn't it? Okay, so basically, banks are unlikely to give you large loans. So they think that the more things that they buy, the more assets they'll have in their business, the things that they own, they'll have in their business. And so therefore, they'll be able to make more of their business. But actually, what they need to do is they need to trim all of those expenses right down so that they can start to manage their cash properly. Now, if you ask me about managing cash properly, I would always say use profit first, because I think it's an absolutely brilliant way. And if you're starting out, and even if you've only got a minute bit of income, and it doesn't matter how big or small that income is, you can start using profit first. Anybody who wants to know about profit first or how it works, please contact me and I will let you know. So as far as money management is concerned, it's all very well having the good idea for the actual startup, but attaining and managing that capital required to make it into a reality is what's really important. So how do you manage your cash? What do you do to set yourself up for success? Or do you set yourself up for failure? Not on purpose, obviously, but what do you do to set yourself up for success? It's key. It's absolutely key. If you don't manage that cash, and I mean on a daily basis when you're starting up, a daily basis, That's why we always suggest that anybody who's starting up starts up straight away with a cloud accounting system. You start out with Excel spreadsheets and things like that. It's all very well and good, but it's not going to give you everything that you need. You need real-time information, and to have that as a startup, you need to make sure that the information is in there for you to use. So that's why we always suggest a cloud accounting system. Knowing your market needs, doing your market research. If you're thinking about doing a startup, have you done your market research? I mean, really, really done your market research. Have you worked out who you're going to be selling to? Have you worked out what their pain points are? Have you worked out where they shop, what they do, what they read, what they wear, how many children they've got, whether their children go to school, whether their children are in uni? So, I mean, everything about them that you possibly can. I honestly think that the idea of niche marketing is absolutely key. Somebody once said to me, when you're marketing, you talk to you talk to your ideal client as though your marketing is written, so you are talking to your ideal client. So whoever it is, it's how you would normally talk to them. So if you go on a Zoom call with a potential client or something like that, how you talk to that person is probably how you should do your marketing. I'm absolutely rubbish at marketing. I am completely and utterly hopeless in marketing, and that's why I get other people to do it for me, because I can't do it and I don't want to do it, and I don't like putting myself out there. Putting myself out there on Facebook, doing these Facebook Lives is one thing, but putting myself out there doing marketing is like, whoa, look at me, I'm blowing my own trumpet, and I don't like all of that. But hey, it's what you have to do if you're an entrepreneur. And if you don't do it, then you have to get somebody else to do it for you, which is fine. So the next part is learning what it takes to succeed. Most traits of a successful entrepreneur can actually be learned. You can learn them from other people. Other than that, there's always people who will help you. And I think, as they say, teamwork makes a dream work. And in my eyes, number 6 on these is knowing when and how to ask for help. And I think this is not number 1 in my eyes, but it's blooming crucial. You cannot do it all on your own. I know when you're first starting up, it's really important because 1, you haven't got any money. But 2, you also, in my eyes, you need to learn what you're doing in order to be able to pass it on to somebody else, so that when you're checking what they're doing, that you can make sure that they're doing what you're expecting them to do. If you're passing something to somebody else, or a VA or anybody, actually, doesn't matter what it is. So let's say a VA. If you don't know exactly what you're wanting them to do, 1, you can't be clear on your instructions, but 2, you can't check that you're happy with what they're doing for you. So asking for help is huge. You cannot do it all on your own, as I say. And even if that person you're asking only has an extra 3% of knowledge of that particular subject, 1, it's more than you, and 2, it means that you don't have to learn that piece of software or the way to do whatever it happens to be inside out. You have to know how it works, but you don't have to know how to do it inside out. So those are my 6 traits of successful entrepreneurs, because I put in my 6th one. Let me know what you think and comment on whether you're live or on #replay. Any comments you've got, any questions you've got. Love to hear from you. Give me some love. Give me some love, guys. Love to hear from you. I hope you have a fabulous weekend, and I will see you next week, the 12th of March. Thank you all so much. Bye.